Hey, Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome to Endless Legend 2. This is a preview build for the game. Should be, I believe it's coming out in early access sometime later this summer, and I'm bringing it here to you today because I think this is a contender for the best 4X game that will release this year, even if it releases into early access. Now yesterday we played, or I don't remember when the video will go out, but we played the Kin of Sheridan last time. This time we're going to be playing the Aspects, which is a unlikely symbiosis of the organic and the artificial. The Aspects are a peaceful collective, always seeking harmony. Let's go ahead and jump into the game, and we'll sort of talk about some of the things that make this game so brilliant, and why I think you should add it to your wish list on Steam. God, the music and the art is so incredible. Man, like the art and the vibes and the feeling of this game are just so incredible. So we are going to be playing as the Aspects, which are a very interesting faction. So they're subjects of the Illuminated Realm, or subjects of the Illuminated Realm. Join me. The dieback is behind us. The Aspects are recovering, and the vast oceans of Sayada beckon to us. We shall seed Coral once more, building an empire to soothe the agonies of Sayada. The harmonies of our chorus will drown out the cacophony of chaos. I do feel like the scroll bar is a little bit unnecessary, but it is what it is. So here is our starting army. You can see here, this is our hero, Polamafun, the Steadfast. He is a ranged hero. I believe he's he's an archer aspect. Over here we've got an envoy. These are curious and courteous. They are aware. So when they move inside or outside of a battle, they have more vision range, and no obstacle can block its vision range. The defense experts, so they're good at defending, and they have destabilizing defense, which is when they defend, they apply a vulnerability status to enemy units. So they're quite good at holding the line. And then you have this unit here, the sentry, to sort of shoot over it. And they have ranged, and they have steady blow. So they do more damage if they don't move. So this is very much so a faction where the two of these things, you want to hold the front line with your envoys while you pepper the enemy from behind with your sentries. It's a very, very interesting faction combo. I see a provision over here. Let's go pick that up. We've got a heal. It's not exactly what we were looking for. Let's step up here and see if we can see further. We're in the province of Yeg. Now, do remember we do have the prepared settlements bonus, so we will get a 50% boost to all of the yields of our city before we settle. So we want to find somewhere quite high in yields before we commit to settling down. You know, if I settle down with the first chatter's mom that I found, you know, no, I'm just kidding. I apologize again. I am still sick. And so this is another really interesting aspect of the Aspect, is that because we are this communal sort of quasi hive mind, it's not exactly that, but it's kind of like that. We actually get to meet the other hive mind right from turn one, when normally this kind of early game diplomacy would be basically impossible. But because all of our factions communicate with the Coral, the fact that they have created a city hall and have created the Coral here, you can see Coral adds gold to a tile, we can in fact commune with them. So where does the game suggest a settlement location? I don't like many of those as it currently stands, so we'll keep exploring to see if we find somewhere worthy of a settlement. We'll head east. Where is that signs coming from? There's something on here. Vestiges. So the vestiges are a type of terrain, I believe. You know, traces of wisdom. So it's just these little things. So we need to consider a few things when we're settling our city. I happen to know that the coral, the coral spreads downhill and towards water. So we need to think about, you know, being up a hill could be quite useful. I am tempted to settle right here. This is a pretty highly productive area. I think that is where I'm going to put my city. I like it on the hill. It'll flow downhill. It'll be good. These guys want a non-aggression pact. I'm going to accept that, and I would even open my borders with them just to get the positive relationship with them. Eventually, we are going to want to get a lot of diplomacy going. And this is a diplomatic faction. That is how you want to play and what you want to be doing. You want to be playing diplomatically. Okay, before you go ahead and do that, let's scout a little. Is there a better location here? Oh, what is this? Xavius. Ah, I've never seen this before. +1 vision range for pacified visions on the Protectorate. Unlocks notable Mantamar. Huh, plus fortification per pacified village. Interesting. I've never seen a notable neutral before. Okay, here we go. Now here's a 9-8 tile. That actually might be a better spot for our capital, and I think we will settle in over there. I think that's going to be how we do it, because we would be adjacent to 2 anomalies. Yeah, that's going to be really good for us. So let's settle right there. 958, boom. And here is our city. We have now gained control of 2 anomalies. Influence and foundations, influence is stockpiled. So we kind of know how the game's mechanics work, but I will briefly explain it. There are multiple layers of city development. You've got your foundations. These are claiming tiles using influence, this resource up here. You've got your usual FIDSI, food, industry, dust, science, influence. FIDSI. FIDSI. That's classic Amplitude Studio identity right there. We have I can't quite tell what's on this tile. It's a stunted copse. It's giving production and gold. And then over here, we've got a giant orchid providing food and gold. So we have a little bit more gold than we would normally start with. So foundations are how you claim land. Then you've got districts. And districts have a couple of layers in that these neutral towns also count as districts. Improvements are things that you build on districts. So for example, I could improve the city center eventually to level up the city. Units are, well, units. And then population is, well, population. We have the aspect population, and the unique thing about the aspect is they get influence per the number of different population types in the category. So it might not be ideal for us to cohabit with Xavius just yet, but eventually we might want to make friends with Xavius. Oh wait, no, the notable unlock is normal actually. So yeah, we will make friends with these guys, these strange multi-headed little goblin people is what it looks like. So we'll bring our hero over and see if maybe we can do a quest for them or a bribe. In our city, we need to take some production here. And I think there is a ridge here. And so it could be a good spot to build a works district, although we don't have that unlocked yet. Yeah, I mean, currently I would rather build, like 2 science tiles are definitely going to go here. I would rather build my farms over by this river to get them scaling. We could build a farm. I don't know if that's how we want to do it, but we definitely want to build a couple of science tiles here. We want to claim this too. It might be good for us to just make units early or pump production into influence to claim more tiles. That might be useful so that we can claim more, integrate and all that sort of stuff. You know what? I think I'll open with a farm on this tile. It's not an ideal tile for a farm, but it's fine. And I'm going to unlock the works district because I do have a couple of spots for a good works. Although asceticism give us extra protectorate slot. It wouldn't be bad to get an early laboratory. We as a faction, we care a lot about dust as well. So I think we'll go for the workshop and the currency there, and we'll kind of see what we want to do. I think the workshop actually got finished in a single turn because of the setup we have. So actually I could cancel this. Now this will be a +3, +2 base and +1 for the adjacent ridge, or we could get a +3 farm. I think the +3 food feels a little bit, or +3 production feels a little bit better right here because this faction doesn't have a really innate way to build up their production. We do have a little story event here. The illuminated realm of the aspect is at its lowest ebb for centuries, devastated and desperate. The great dieback. Several months ago, the web of coral that stretched across the island and into the seas beyond experienced a dieback the likes of which has never been witnessed. Reefs withered and blackened. Only a handful of coral shelves remained. The chorus, the shared mind where all aspects come together in thought, atrophied as well. Good news, Plero. Against all odds, we survive. Reefborn has been built anew. It is a shadow of itself, and our once mighty chorus is but a discordant whisper. We lost many in the dieback, that is true, but a handful of us persist, and we will rebuild the chorus as well. Were we complacent, my friend? We called it the illuminated realm, a land of plenty and bliss, but we were blind to the coming ruin. Good questions, of course, but they can wait. And remember, you've barely donned the robes of office. Power laid in others' hands, so stop feeling guilty. Thank you, Crytellon. You are right. I look back in pity, not ahead in hope. I forget the balance, the harmony. What would you recommend with your experience? Everything begins with the coral. We must grow new fields immediately and find new varieties immune to the blight. We are not yet saved. So, of course, it is the first step to gather a greater chorus and a greater harmony. Let us move. So we need to build 2 coral spores, and that will give us a boost to our approval in our capital city. Now, to build coral spores, it does cost some gold, and then it costs some influence to upgrade them. And the coral spores is, you can kind of see this pink stuff. It will spread slowly across the map, enveloping everything in the coral. And I don't know if it should say. Anyway, we're going to send our hero over to here, and I'm going to bring my units up to help. These guys are not hostile. These guys are chill. They're wary, which means they'll only attack during the monsoon. These guys are hostile, so we need to be ready for them. And I think where we build this is where the outpost is going to go. So I think we'll build it on this hill because we want the coral to flow downhill. So it'll take 3 turns to be produced. We'll group everyone up so that we can have the strength of numbers. So as this faction, gold and influence are 2 of our most important resources. Okay, that's concerning. We need to be ready. This Daughters of Boar warrior is already out on the field, and so we're likely to have to fight them. Now that will be a good opportunity to gather experience, but it would be good if we were grouped. And you can see the coral has spread here. Now the important thing about the coral is that coral adds +1 gold to tiles that it spreads to. And if I zoom out here, you can see the coral is spreading, and it will typically fall downhill, but also towards water. It seeks water. Now we could probably instantly resolve this and get a fine result, and I will go ahead and do that. That will get me 40 gold as well as some experience on my units. 40 dust rather, I always call it gold. We've just finished researching currency. We have access to the merchant's house, which is your baseline gold building, and levies, which gives us a little bit of gold in the capital. The next tech that I would like probably is scientific charter. I think we could get a lot of use out of that. I'm going to evolve this into a camp because I would like to get it attached to the city as soon as possible. And camps are a little bit harder to be cleared by aggressive neutrals. It'll also provide us with more healing for this army, but we want to get this army on the move to create a new coral growth. So we'll make our way down towards this region down here, SA something, so that we can complete this quest. I feel safe to use a little bit of gold here to finish this building. I'm trying to think what's more important to me now. I think growth is actually quite important to me at this phase of the game. These need to be science. This could be a forum. I don't think we have anything we can really justify building, so we're just going to do artisan activism to get influence. Now, question, would we get more influence working scribe jobs? There's 12, or production jobs, 10. Working scribes. So we could work scribes to get a bunch of influence to spread our city a little bit faster. Might not be bad. The coral spread again, and every time the coral spreads, we get a small boost to our income, as long as we're already exploiting that tile. Ooh. Do not declare war. Okay, so accidentally clicking on the enemy does not start a fight, because I did not want that fight. Oh, it's kind of weird. It's like a little group of ghost babies on a titan. That's freaky. Ghost baby titan was not on my bingo list. You know what? I'm actually going to make a unit to make this army a little bit more resilient. Coral has spread over here. It's trying to get to the water. It always tries to grow to the closest water, is what I have noticed. It's continuing to spread. I see a decent little spot right here. It's like a triangle of science. Let's see if these guys are willing to give us a quest. So, the Hodjorin, they're in deep thought. Take care, Pleragira the Innumerable. You bring in ill wind bound to break against our high keep. Another piece falls into place, the grand mechanism that brings the world to ruin. We mean you no harm. Why do we worry about harm when the end of all things is coming? No aspects that the dying days creeps ever closer. We feel its shadow, the keening dark. When? How? You foretell an apocalypse, yet stay cloistered in this tower? My scholastics and I foretell all, so I thank you, Pleragara the Innumerable, for offering us aid in the lands beyond. For the reward, I have predicted what you wish for in return. I cannot divulge our methods to you, but a sampling of the delicate confections would allow us to advance at tremendous speed, bring a sufficient quantity to the high keep. We will endeavour to do as you ask, Master Hodron. So I need to bring a flask of dust fire. This would pacify them and get me titanium. So this might be a little bit of a harder quest because it relies on us getting an item. And so the monsoon is beginning.
Darken the skies aspects, while rifts scar the lands. The balance between life and death is at stake.
So unfortunate thing about this is that these guys will become aggressive. It is an opportunity for us to gather some experience and dust. Now our leader here, Polyphon the Steadfast, he has the ranged passive, so he does extra damage against flying units and less damage to people who are adjacent. He also has the ranged 3 ability and the, what is this? Scoped shot. Now he has high resilience, high intuition, and high determination. Now, I think I might lean into the intuition side of things, so getting a fast learner here could be really powerful, as this would allow him to level up faster, which would scale off the intuition. There's also these levitations that we can pick up. Nice little curiosities. You should stay on the move. So I'm going to appoint, we can appoint a colonizer, a scout, or a librarian. Yeah, cheaper science districts is great. I'm going to go for the colonizer. So assimilating and cohabitation is cheaper, and we get influence based on our outposts. And I will go for the librarian. So we're going to be able to science up quite well as this faction. Okay, this is a bit concerning that we're being attacked again. I might have to fight this manually. Make sure we focus fire on this enemy scholastic here. My hero's in bad shape. I need you to get this kill, please. Had to do a quick reload. Sometimes the game has a little bit of a bug during a battle. Perfect. So hopefully he won't kill this. I'm just hoping to squeak on through this without losing any units. Alright, looks like we managed it. Perfect. Whew. That was close, but we did pick up a bunch of dust. That dust can be used to finish things in our capital. We're waiting for the influence to attach this to our city. Now, the really interesting thing about the coral is if the coral grows on top of a village, it will instantaneously pacify it. So we can actually incorporate these Avias into our empire immediately and gain their population. We're not going to do that just yet, but it will function. It will form part of our plan. So there's scientific charter. We can start building our laboratory. Let's grab asceticism so that our units are better at defending. I think that would be good. Help keep us alive a little bit better. Grab these weapon curiosities. We found a Ceramo Weave Bow. It's a nice new piece of equipment for our hero. 32 damage versus 30. Oh, it's the same. May as well give them the Cyadan Crystal, however, as that'll improve your intuition. All right, let's attach this to Reefborn. So now we've got a 2-province city, and that means we have a little bit of extra yields coming in from here. But also we have a city that, or a position that's a little bit more open that we can maybe build, because this is area very here is very restricted for construction is what I'm feeling. You can see the coral, once it hits the water, it basically gets an explosive growth event, which is really great. We've been attacked. Let's retreat. Now retreating does hurt your unit, so he'll be a little bit wounded, but that's okay. We want to get another outpost up in here. I think we'll place it right there. Well, we also want to collect the floating stuff. Let's focus on that during the night. The monsoon season. So I'm going to skip through this. Delegation is stronger. I could really use the influence, but I don't want to lose the thing. Oh, what is this? We could get 2 population, but lose a lot of production. I'm happy to spend the money. I think I would definitely like more food, maybe. So we'll get started on a farm over here. We're claiming lots of stuff with our goopy coral. It's going to reach the river soon. 30 influence. Hoping for a fight here in a turn or two. I'll use my gold to finish this farm. I'll grab this and we'll put a little farm right there. Definitely this is a faction that enjoys growth and influence and gold. So if those are the things you can focus on, you'll have a good time. All right, we got a Sisters of Boar battle. Should be an easy auto-resolve. Or Daughters of Boar, rather. The aspects are a lot slower than the Kin of Sheridan. That is one thing that I'm vibing out right now. I want my army to gain more experience so that it levels up. Leveling up is quite powerful. 5% health damage and a little bit of defense. Really helps keep your army alive and strong. Oh yeah, look at that coral just spreading along that water. Pick up these levitations. That will make it easier to go get the other levitations. And the other really cool thing about the coral is you can step onto the water coral. That is one of the unique abilities of the aspect. It's so cool. So cool. I still need to build a coral, but yeah, look at that huge growth burst from the river. Beautiful. All right, we'll quick finish that farm. Then adjacent to the 2 farms, it's probably a good idea for us to build a forum so we can scale off that a little bit better, and I'll even quick finish that, and then we'll chill for a turn. Nice, we just finished researching asceticism, and the end of the monsoon has come, and so tidefall will happen. The rains recede, as too does the water. Okay, awesome. So what we're going to do now real quick is we are going to pop up into the protectorate and we're going to make the Xavius a protectorate. And we're going to look to see if we can make the Daughters of Boar piece us out as well. We need 300 money to bribe them. And I need... What do you do again? You're a Pantanal. I think I'm going to lean heavily into the archers for the this stack here. So I'll grab myself a pair of extra archers, and that's because this guy is a ranger and he can buff up your archers quite strongly. Let's grab this. We found a curiosity. Usually, sometimes they give you quests. I'm just going to skip over it real quick. Oh, we got to build a ravatory on Leafborn. So we got a neat little quest there. I don't want to spoil the entire game for you. I think this game is very much so worth playing yourself. Yeah, I'll grow some coral right there. And science-wise, we're 2 techs away from advancing. So I think it would be good for us to research civil order and maybe stonework. Battle spoils are also quite good. I think we'll go for stonework. Yeah, keep buying tiles so that we can put beautiful farms on them. They have changed to indifferent with us. We can't afford to befriend them properly. The spores planted the first shoots of coral cracked through the soil, healthy and radiant, a beautiful sight, I must say. One that makes old circuits hum. And no sign of disease? None. Relax, Plero. Our new variety appears to be immune, so far, to the blight. Soon the chorus will sing again. So we get some approval here and we will get our next quest. The coral remains healthy. We must take advantage of this time, Plero. Do not waste its potential. Many things weigh upon us. Construction, defense, research. We are so weak. Should we prioritize up alliances or impress with might? Research other corals or slow down, Plero? Breathe. Yes, harmony and balance. Harmony and balance. Harmony and balance. Ever since the chorus failed, I've been anxious. I've never realized how much that constant roar soothed me. None of us did. And you weren't named Player Guerra the Innumerable for nothing. Nothing could better decipher the chorus. Now, one thing at a time. So we're going to build 3 foundations. That is our quest. We can evolve this into a camp with a little bit more influence. Let's go pick up this detritus. We found a fortress, although I don't think I'm ready to clear them. Music of the harp, bring them to me. Okay, so we get some sort of event here. Get silver-tongued. It's a huge amount of influence. We could gain a mighty harper. I'm going to go for the influence. Again, I'm trying not to spoil too many of the events for people who care about that, but just give you a little taste. I'll do the mainline events, but not the I think I might skip the side ones just to keep you, you want to play the game yourself. The reef, the coral spreads beautifully. Grab this. What is it? Yeah, that was a heal. Not exactly the most useful thing. Let us buy this sentry. They've become friendly again. Let's do a cartography exchange. They accepted that. So now we can see what they have explored, which is good to know. I'm going to move up in and over here. We're probably going to get attacked here by the Daughters of Boar. We'll give them a quick instant resolve. I'm going to take the envoys out of this army now and bring just these archers together. I'll send those envoys on auto-explore. I might just go and violently clear out the Daughters of Boar, partially for the experience, but partially just because it's cheaper than bribing. And I don't know if they'll give me a quest I can complete. Okay, this one was stabilized, so we just have to clear the other one out. Perfect. That's the power of the coral. You just wait long enough and you'll pacify people, which actually means we could probably cohabitate with them and gain their population in our town. And our faction loves to have lots of different types of pops in the same zone. It makes them very, very happy. All right, so I'm going to build a science thingy right here because it's +6 science. And I'm also going to... I need to get some foundations in Reefborn. They're getting pretty expensive, but not terribly so. There's 2 more. And I might put industry buildings on them. So we've unlocked communal habitations, which will give us stability, influence, and population jobs, as well as extra approval. And then we'll get to work on fortifications. It's always good to have fortifications as an option. Should be an easy instant resolve, hoping for a level on my hero. Yes, we did get it. And so now we've got the experience giving intuitions. So now we can get this one here, which gives +5 damage to all non-hero ranged units. So if we take a look at these guys, they do 36 to 47 damage. I level up this skill here, 5 damage to non-hero ranged units. And now they do 45 to 54. So that's quite a big DPS increase. We will manually fight this battle. You move there and shoot. You move there and shoot. Should be a pretty comfortable victory for us. Upper ground and distraction. They will never yield, but they will yield to us. We are going to want to rebuild this town now that we destroyed it. So I'll quickly pump that, and that will get us an extra Daughter of Boar pop in here. And then we'll work on getting an aspect. running out of job space, so we will need to think about how we're going to expand the job space in this town. All right, my hero's leveled up. I would also like to get the 10% critical chance to non-hero range units in this army. This scales off of intuition, so it's quite nice. We'll go pick up this. Oh, a nice little boost. Just chilling with the aspects here. I'm playing a very slow game, I will admit that. But it's fine, like you can play a slow game. We're chill. Okay, the Infernal Halls. In short time, the great metropolis of Reefborn proudly boasts a new quarter dedicated to the study of the great underground vault. Scholars equipped with the heat-shielded suits and specialized instruments descend into the underworld, determined to discover its mysteries. So what have we learned of this vault? Little, sadly. The complexity of the machinery confounds our scholars, seemingly beyond their comprehension. Another mystery left by the ancients? It would seem so. Yet there is some good news. The machine's function hasn't yet been ascertained, but its pattern of operation has been linked to other periodic changes that wreak havoc in this world. In other words, we could use it to foretell the date of the next tidefall. So now geomancy will be cheaper. Awesome. Very, very, very cool. We'll use our goal to keep pumping the city forward. Little narrative event here. I'll grab this anomaly. And here's the great dieback. I feel a spark of hope, player up. The chorus will be renewed. We've done well, but we are far from safe. Come, we should enjoy our victories, even if they are small ones. Several were inspired enough to offer themselves as fighters. Our forces are stronger than ever. So we gained an envoy. Since we established the new coral reef, Plagura began to look to the future, but the yields are unstable and the fields require constant care. Shadows still loom over the illuminated realm, with worrying questions about the dieback of the chorus. Plagura is anxious once more, seeking counsel. What is happening to this world, my friend? The dieback, our chorus, our harmony. Are we living on a doomed world? We are here to deal with the present, Plero, not to predict the future. All I know is that we must persist, no matter what the world throws at us. Well said. In fact, we must get to know this world better than we do. Or thought we did. Exactly. There are many lesser nations on these lands. It may be worth communicating with them and seeing what they may know. So we need to pacify 2 villages with coral. So that will just happen as we spread our coral. Speaking of spreading our coral, I think this zone here is a good spot. So we'll plop down a little coral there. I'll put this envoy on auto explore. Oh, what do we find? Whoa, what's happening here? I think this might be, this is either like something crazy or a bug. And I can't tell which it is. There might be something underneath that water that wasn't meant to trigger this like cutscene. I bet that's what it is. That cutscene wasn't meant to trigger yet. Look, the game is, look, this is a preview build. The game is, it's not even in early access yet. So, you know, give it a little bit of slack. All right, it's going to have a couple of goofy moments like that. So I want to grow here because I want to get this anomaly. Anomalies are really efficient to bring inside your territory as they're very, very valuable. Okay, so there's stonework. We have access to the stronghold and reinforced walls. And more importantly, we're in the new era. And getting into the new era will let us have bigger armies. Our units will be more expensive, but we'll get more of them. We can get the observer, and that applies marked. So it would be good to get an observer. In terms of tech, we could draw a hero. We could upgrade our units. I think we should start with extracting things. So we'll get our extractive economy up and running. Good stuff. We got another coral. We would love to evolve that into a camp if we could. We need to get some population room. So let's have a think about, I think there's a nice spot in and around here, but we need more influence to build there. Let's build a laboratory. We're a little bit light on science. Honestly, this is a rough start. In the sense that I'm not accelerating very fast. Like my build is slow. We're also going to want one of these observers. Prioritize that. But you can see how the coral spreads kind of, it doesn't fill the map. It does its own tendrily sort of thing towards water, which I think it kind of lends to the idea that it feels very alive. I would like to set up a coral up here in the north as well. The more coral we get, like coral is just one of our best things that we can do. The more of it we plant, the better. Just like an objectively true thing. Just the more coral we get down, the better. That's who we are as a faction. Potato, potato. Fear of the sea runs deep. Put the matter to rest with some demos to follow. Potato, potato. We get science, approval, or influence. The injection of it, I think the science is actually really good here. Really sick for us at this moment. One of the things about coral that we should actually keep in mind is it's cheaper to expand to coral, right? It's 145 here, but 73 here. So expanding to coral should be a priority. Something I kind of forgot about how the coral works. Okay, sick. The coral is spreading. In a village, we could either fight them or we could pacify them. I think fighting them gets us more experience, which is why I kind of lean towards the fighting end of things. Gaining experience to all units in the army when you gather curiosities is quite good, so we will go for that. Even though these are kind of like a friendly species, clearing them is just valuable, again, because the experience, right? So now if we level up intuition, we will gain 3% extra experience, 3% extra experience, +1 damage, +2 experience on curiosities, and 2% extra crit chance on our army. So leveling up intuition makes our army quite a bit more powerful. I would still like to maybe get my hands on braced shields here, so that when my units are defending, they get a little bit of extra health. So that's quite good, kind of buffing up this army for flexibility and survivability. And now we have a observer in this army who will provide the marked ability, which should lead to better focus firing, just gathering that experience and materials from warfare. So we're working on a lab, and we'll just let that continue. So we've researched mine shafts. We can get titanium mines now. I'm going to go for geology here. This will allow us to predict the seasons better, and we'll be able to rewild land, and we will also get science from camps, and camps will cost less influence to found. Good news, Plero. We've made significant inroads with the Cyadans who aren't our major rivals. All right, sick. So we pacified a couple of things. So what does my master statesman want to tell me? To keep your wits about you, my lord. During recent missions we came across. How do we explain this? An aspect wandering the uncharted lands. After the storms in the dieback and the starfall, it is hardly surprising that some wander lost or in doubt. I would agree, except that this aspect, Xenos, is not in the chorus. We found them with our eyes and not our minds, my lord. How could this be? One of our number, cut off from the chorus? Another clan? A different chorus? I must speak with them. Of course, my lord. Beware, though. Xenos remembers nothing except their name. They could be dangerous. I will have the guards bring them. Thank you, my lord. I dared ask to see you, though you do not know me, nor I you. You are welcome to the harmony. Though I confess this is hard to process or digest. You stand there, yet not a whisper of your thoughts echo in the chorus. Who are you, Xenos? To start with the most difficult question, I do not know who I am. I have only flashes of memories, of noise and flame, stars exploding, screams in the chorus, but nothing is clear or substantial. I need help, my lord, to understand who I am and what happened. So we got to build 2 laboratories to help with this. Yeah, we will keep you here with Sayada's finest philosophers, where they can question and examine you. Brilliant minds who I'm certain will discover who you really are. I am at your service. I do not know if they can come to understand me better than I understand myself, but I will cooperate in whatever way I can. So we're going to build laboratories. Thankfully, we were already in the process of building one. I want to get another city up if I could. So I'm going to evolve this camp here, and we'll save up to make a city. Now, can we clear this? Yes, and we got some hydromial. We can use this booster. My hero has leveled up. I could take the heal. The heal is actually pretty good. Might not be the worst as well to get a little bit of extra damage on my hero. It's not a huge amount, but it adds up. We could cultivate a coral on this place, and we will. Yeah, we're saving up to turn this into a city. We're probably going to have a bit of a slum problem in our capital, but that's fine. Just let the coral spread. So they're bound to us. They should probably allow us a vision exchange now, and eventually we'll be able to get an alliance with them. The coral is very diplomatic. We need to get like an immigration treaty with them so that we can make use of their pops. Yeah, let us make our way to our territory. I'm saving up to turn this into a city, and then I want to heal up and see if I can take on one of these subterranean things. Capital has grown. It's got a bunch of pops. All right, let's evolve this into a city. Boom. And we need to think about how we're going to bring these guys into the fold. The city, that is. We could start with farms. I'll tell my population to focus on production. I'll get a forum, and I will get a works in here to try to up the influence and the productivity of this land. We can now rewild territory, which is quite cool. And evolving camps are now cheaper. All right, let's go and see if we can take this, because it'll be a huge injection of influence if we can defeat this. 300 for defeating the tyrant of the fortress. Oh, hello. So we'll attack him. That will add targeting to him. So he is marked. His chance to take a critical strike is higher. 100% chance of a crit. 34% chance of a crit. Can we kill that tyrant on the first turn of battle? That's actually incredible. Especially since our archers have a huge critical hit chance if they don't move. Alright, let's pop you. 100% chance to crit. 34% chance. Practically guaranteed death. Now if you hit here, you should allow us to crit. Oh, that's disgusting. Okay, the combo between these two units is actually crazy. There's 400 dust, a cipher of horror, very powerful ability there, a beached dagger, and a spyglass of the sages. Awesome. What horrors did you find in the depths? Well, I found some interesting things. Let's add some extra damage to our units. So now our ranged units are doing 55 to 68 damage, which is quite powerful. I would like the +1 movement outside of battle on my units, so I'm going to go ahead and research that. Got 800 gold in the bank. The huge injection of influence is great because I can evolve a camp here and then attach it to my city. There'll be lots of cheap terrain over here for us to attach. Build a couple of forums. Keep expanding the territory. There's some titanium down here in Beham that we want to get control of, so I'm going to head down there to start a coral. Now we are going to be fighting aggressive foundlings, but that's okay. We'll take our time making our way down there. We'll heal slowly as we move. We definitely need to build a communal space here. I was hoping the coral would have spread to this area, but I'm going to have to build the communal space over here instead because of the cheaper land due to the way the coral is spreading. All right, we'll start spreading a coral right there. To get control of Beham, we want that. A lot of things we want to get control of. A hero point is available. Did you level up? Oh, you did. Very nice. If we leveled up intuition, right, if you take a look at these archers, they do 55 to 68 with a 14% chance of critting. If we level up intuition, now they do 52 to 71 with a 16% chance of critting. Like that is a significant DPS increase. Knowledge is power at the cost of food. Approval at the cost of science. I don't mind. Approval seems to be not that important, so I'll lose the approval in that event there. We definitely want to build community here. That's going to be +10 food, as well as +1 population slot on vocations, which is nice. Traveler's Shrine. More importantly, we've got the +1 movement on my units from that tech, which is really nice. Then it would be nice to be able to level up my city, so I'll go for Collective Will. We have control of this zone. We'll evolve it into a camp. We need to get control of Salamar. I think my coral over here was defeated, or else I never founded it. But we'll get one down there as we slowly spread across the map like a proper sort of coral creature. They're bound to us. I'll use money to finish this. We could definitely use more food. Can we grow along this path here and get this anomaly? These anomalies are very valuable to get inside your territory, as far as I'm concerned. Just having a fun time playing the coral. I definitely feel like this is a much weaker game. I played it poorly, let's be real. Okay, good job. We got to save up to evolve that into a camp. We would like to go clear this next. What I will do is I'll step inside my territory because you do heal faster inside your territory if I recall correctly. Yeah, it's 20 HP regeneration inside your territory, which is quite good. +5 if you're on coral. Coral! Interesting that they founded a coral grower over there. All right, you're healed up enough now to engage in this fight. This one's worth 600 influence. Let's go for it. Manual battle. Let's do a defensive round. Let them come to us. We got a nice hit on you. 100% crit chance. We'll kill a bird. Well, no, we should really focus on killing this guy. He's the true threat. Ow. Ow. Okay, hopefully this kills. This should kill. This should kill as well, and now you're safe. And we just have to deal with this mighty ranger over here. Which should not be a problem as long as we mark him for the crit. And then pop him in the back with disgusting damage. Perfect. I do love how quick and easy the battles are in this game. A lot of tactical battle games, like you're there for hours, like moving units around. This one is like, yeah, you're in and out. Nice and quick. Right, let's evolve this into a camp. Some good stuff right there. Slowly claiming more of the map. Could make this into a city if we wanted to as well. But before we do that, we should at least get these extractors online. So we have the titanium extractor now producing a little bit of science. So we could make this into a city if we wanted to. And honestly, is that so bad? Let's do it. My hero's leveled up again. I could go for more intuition if we wanted to completely obliterate more units. I could get the hero more health. He does seem to be taking a lot of damage. I might pick up resilience here so that he has that little bit of defense. It might be good for us to put a coral in Arneb, although my sort of allies are doing that too. Probably noticed the note of hesitance in my tone when I described them as allies there. They seem to be engulfing much of the lands that I call my own. Such is the nature of the coral. Okay, I'm not sure what I did wrong, but I am doing a lot worse than I have done in my other runs, as the aspects in particular. I will not stoop to rumor and suspicions, lie Grammel. There is no place for that in the harmony. We will maintain the harmony for all aspects. Days pass with Xenos striking a miserable figure among the bustle of Reefborn. The chorus swells and strengthens, but its joyous harmonies unheard by the outsider. Plerogaira has heard of reports from the escorts that Xenos mutters dark prophecies during times of fitful rest, nightmarish visions of a broken world of unending deserts. The outsider weighs heavily on my mind, Krytellon. Xenos contradicts everything we know and believe about ourselves, our society, and now they babble about an oncoming doom. I wouldn't hold much stock in some wanderer's ravings, my lord. The dieback broke many good souls, but I wonder if maybe Xenos was one of us years ago. How could that be? An unwanted juvenile abandoned to the waves, an unfortunate accident that cut them adrift, contact with those new monsters that roam the land. Ah, they might have grown up alone and in silence until their island was no longer a prison. And their dark prophecies? Meaningless nightmare. This sort of trauma can do strange things to the mind. Somehow I don't think that this is trauma. The sight of the falling seas would do something to an already troubled spirit, and perhaps bring visions of a desert. We must learn to understand Xenos, if we wish to understand ourselves and our world. I wonder how we might do that, Krytellon. You'd have at least 30 influence. Okay, got it. Yeah, I'd like to unlock the trading post as well. And we are in the process. Damn it, they're building coral here too. They're just surrounding me in coral, man. Coral! Coral! This feels targeted. I'm being surrounded by vaguely friendly coral. Your empire has more sway over the Syadan peoples than ever before, yet my worry for our future remains. Have you learned more? We have no firm wisdom to share, but the chorus hums with the chatter of the old ones. Many think they have their hand in things. They may well do. Xenos' identity and their bleak prophecy still troubles Plerogaira, but they have bigger concerns that occupy their mind. The retreat of the waters is a new nightmare, on top of which rivals vie for the riches of the newly revealed seabed. All the while, strange corrupting beasts stalk the land, and hostile empires and tribes threaten bloodshed. Plerogaira suspects they see the work of the old ones. Apologies for the interruption, my lord. We have yet another intriguing visitor. Whoops, I clicked off the quest. This may become a motto of my reign. They are the Green Scion Travel Oid Emil, who claims they have information about the Xenos and the clan. I thought you should speak. Welcome, Udemil. May you live in harmony. We live for the work, not harmony. The work requires effort, time. But I come to speak of Xenos. Interesting. What do you know of Xenos? We are many, our gardens are many, we see much. I can tell you much, however. We need your help, your might. Help cool the doom wraith to terrorize our gardens, then I will tell you all. So I need to destroy a good doom wraith, which will allow me to advance this quest. So that I know for a fact that the doom wraiths won't appear until the next tidefall. At least I'm 99% certain on that. And so we could plunder or seize this. I think we shall plunder it, clearing these fortress denizens. Get that fat crit. Boom. God, that's so beautiful. That's a really fun combination. Like one unit increases the chance to crit. The other unit has a higher chance to crit when standing still. So you end up with a 100% crit chance. It's just like chef's kiss, perfect. Bam. So we got some gold. We got another bow. Got some items. Let us crow the coral. There's a bit of coral over here. We want to get our stability up if we can. So I'll park out a few communal habitations. It also gives us a lot of room for population. You can see the coral is starting to now not only spread to the water, but starting to actually fill up the inside of the territory. Particularly if you look over Inel. Inel is very filled. So trading posts, quarries, all sorts of good things have just been unlocked. We're going to want things that we can spend titanium on. We don't really have glass steel at the moment. So I'll grab the sciencey stuff. Build that extractor. Okay, we'll build a trading post right there, and then we'll build 3 merchant houses adjacent to the trading post. That's how we optimize for the gold. Get that nice income flowing. My hero's leveled up again. I think we go for another one of those intuition points, making these archers just become like disgustingly strong. Especially if we can get them to maximum level 5. I think 5 is the max level. I don't remember. Let's evolve you into a camp. It's worthwhile to have camps rather than just coral growers. We've almost maxed out the stability in our capital. They are happy, which should lead to a slight boost of yields. Let's clear another one of these fortresses. Plunder it for 1,500. Let's get up there and hit him for a big crit. I'll bring my hero up. He will get the 100% crit chance. Position my archer in a defensive position behind our units so that there's less potential angles for the enemy to get us. Boom. Beautiful. Owie. 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 Okay. My hair is in bad shape, but we'll deal with this guy first because we can get the big crit on him. We'll go into a defensive stance with you so you get the small shield. Hit you. Like so. Then we'll finish you with the crit. Finish you here. Come on. Not quite. Oh, we just barely survived. That's beautiful. Get him. So there's Dust, Gambison. Got some items. Lovely. And now we can evolve this into a camp and start looking to grab more coral. Ooh, when outside of a battle adds +2 movement. Does that add that to the army or to just this unit? Now, I'm going to grow a coral over here. I would like to attach this to High Laguna. Laguna High sounds like a high school in a fantasy game. All right. Yeah, I'm having a really good time playing at the aspect, dude. This, like, you spread a little creep around the map. You build this nice city. I did play a lot better. I don't know how I managed it. Whatever it was, the first time I played, I just did better. Okay, so we need to clear a thing here. I'm going to zip back here to heal up faster inside my own territory. And then we'll go clear this out so we can make this into an outpost. Okay, 6. So we have access to the geodesic dome and some cool stuff in here. We want to boost our science buildings that are adjacent to forums, although it doesn't matter that much, honestly. But this is +10 science right there. This is going to be another +5 and extra 2 population slots, which is quite good. The city is going to be busy for a while. Let's upgrade our units with the coral amplifier. We'll get the titanium deposit online. We also want this quarry online, although it'll take a while for us to get the yields for that. Let's evolve you into a camp. Perfect. High Laguna. Okay, we can't assimilate anyone else, but High Laguna built a couple of science buildings. Yeah, I don't think that's actually a particularly good way to open up with a city. I think you're better off doing other stuff. Yeah, I think production is king is like the classic statement, right? Like just focus on production, get more of it. Everything is downstream of production. It's just the correct way to play. Okay, let's annex a bunch of land here. And what we'll do is we'll try to optimize just how much dust the city makes by building a bunch of trading posts. And then in between the trading posts, we build merchant houses. That will make us a ton of money. Something I would really like games that use hexagons to start thinking about is like shapes that are bigger than a single hex. Like, what if you had to place a thing that was 3 lines long? Like, you know, like Tetris pieces, you know, tetronymos. I think I would love to see, or hexonymos or whatever. I would love to see these games to start to think about what bigger sized pieces start to look like in this kind of a game when you're building a city. Like, what if you had to place something that was a diamond shape? What if you had to place something that was a triangle shape or a 2-piece shape, or it was like an elbow shape or a line, and then like variate that based on different lengths and stuff like that? I think there's a lot of really interesting puzzling mechanics that are lurking beneath the surface there that I think just have not yet really been explored. I would love, that would be what I would make. That would be what I would make. I would make a 4X game based on shapes and placing shapes, both on the military side of things and on the economic side of things. Okay, so somebody has died. But man, I gotta say, like the story and the vibes and everything about this game just feels so amazing to play. Like, that is the only way that I can describe it, is that it just feels so good. I'm just going to surround this thing with production because that's what I feel like doing. So we've unlocked the crawler. So these are some unit upgrades that we can do now. So if I go and I open up my army, where was my army? These guys. You can see I can specialize in becoming a stinger. Now the stinger, when attacking a unit adjacent to 2 friendly units, get a 15% damage boost, and the resistor gets extra range. So I like the stinger more, personally. I like the titanium path. It's kind of interesting to me. I definitely should go for the diplomacy tech here. Immigration policy and win-win relations. But I'm expecting a monsoon in the near future, which is kind of fun. I am getting absolutely dumpstered by the AI here, by the way. Just want to point that out. Like, they are wrecking me. So here's the next monsoon. Got a new chief. Let's have a look here. I could get another librarian. All right, so now we can do immigration policy, and we're in a new era. So now we get influence on our coral with harmonious amalgamation. So we'll go for better diplomacy, and we'll talk to the other guy. We'll get an immigration policy with him. And now that we have an immigration policy, we can actually grow his minor factions, which is really, really cool. I love that aspect of the game. There's just so much going on here. I think the aspect feel a little bit underpowered to me, but that's because I am very much so playing with the King of Sheridan mindset. I think I need to learn to adjust to the game and what tools these guys actually have. I think that's an area of gameplay where I am the player as I am failing the game, right? I am not adapting to what the game actually is just yet. I think that's a little bit of it, and I think a little bit of it is that the King of Sheridan are kind of overpowered. I definitely feel like I need to play the Coral more to get a real understanding for what they actually are good at and what they're good at doing and what I should be doing with them, you know? But like, I've got level 4 units here. They're really strong. They're going to keep on leveling. They've got 20% health damage and extra defense. My hero is like a disgustingly high level. I can keep pumping intuition, which will allow my units to get even stronger. Like, these guys are up doing 75 to 90 damage a hit. They can almost one-shot themselves. Right? Put that into perspective. They can almost one-shot themselves. That's a strong unit right there. You know what I mean? I definitely feel like if I had another go of the aspect, I would have a better idea of how I wanted to open. And also, it might be a luck thing. Maybe I just had a rough start. And maybe I'm just playing poorly. Who knows? It could be any, if not all of the above. I think I need to give these guys another go because I don't feel like I really grasped them or what I'm supposed to do just yet. And so I feel like to be fair to them, I need to play them again. And maybe lean more heavily into like the different types of population that I grow and the communal habitation and optimizing for something, right? Like, there's some optimization here that I'm missing. And I think I just need to spend a little bit more time carefully playing them to figure it out. But they are really fun. They're so different. Like, look at the coral. It's like spreading throughout the map, and soon the water will recede and we can continue to spread the coral. Okay, so we got a shared research theory and joint military theory. So let's do shared research. They will accept it. And then the military alliance, oh no, they went with deeper collaboration. I think I need to accept their proposal. And then I'll do a military alliance. Boom. Perfect. So now we're bound together in a military alliance, which is kind of cool. Influence on pacified villages feels pretty good. Yeah, I think maybe this faction is meant to lean into like the unique improvements from the factions you assimilate, like the Xavius Night Watch or the Sisters of Boar. And also maybe it depends on which lesser factions or minor factions you get into your thing, right? Like the Unseeing Seers, influence per pacified village. Oh, damn, that's really strong. Whereas like Foundlings, what do you give? Health regeneration. Oh, you give food and science. Oh, and you give vision and protection. So I think it might be partially down to like who you get inside your territory. Like the Auchlings, crazy. Battle spoils? Damn. Then you got your Wonder Chickens that give you influence. Damn. Or not battle chicken, bard chicken. They're bard chickens. Sorry. My apologies. But yeah, look at the map filling up with that coral now. So early game, it's hard to get it to go where you want it to go, but then once it's there, it's there. And so now the world has been revealed a little bit here. Diplomacy, we should probably go meet the other people. Where are you? So wait, where did the doom wraiths come up? I don't see any doom wraiths. There's a fisher, so a doom wraith should appear over there. Let's go find a doom wraith. Was one of my quests. Oh wait, no, there's one over here. Yeah, let's get him. He's gonna try and corrupt. Get that boy. Get him. Okay, so we can cohabitate an additional thing. We got harmonious amalgamation, which is influence on coral. No, they killed them. I wanted to kill them. I didn't get one. I didn't get a doom wraith. Please don't kill my doom wraiths. Okay, we should have now ran into this lady. I will give her open borders. I want to trespass so bad inside their territory. Did they give me open borders? Let's see. No, they haven't given me open borders. I don't know how to send them like gifts. No, don't attack me. Yeah, they're super aggressive. I have an ally, however, so you want to start some shit, you got to deal with them too. All right, we'll instant resolve this. That was the quest we had, I believe. And we got the coral spore creation via tormented rifts. Neat. And now we got Eudimel, and as long as we claim Fumu, this need to claim this piece of land. But the demo or the it's not a demo. It's a preview. The preview is about to end. Like, that's about it. I gotta say, I definitely feel a little bit more affinity for the Kin of Sheridan and their gameplay style. I think I just need to spend a little bit more time figuring out, because I don't know if this felt too good to play these guys. I mean, last time I played them, okay, let me show you my other save file, because there's only one turn left in this one. Last time I played, I had an incredible game, right? I was making 500 gold per turn, 208 influence. I had like a rocking city, even though I hadn't actually built that much infrastructure. I just had like really good population layouts. I was making all sorts of stuff. This game I played felt so good. I think maybe it's because since I played this game, I played a Kin of Sheridan game, which is the other game on YouTube, that went really, really, really well. And I figured out how to get like bajillion production that, in contrast, the aspect didn't feel quite as good. But I definitely think the aspect has a lot of potential, right? So I want to dig in and figure out, like, what is that potential? How do I tap that potential? Yeah, but I'm going to call that the end of the video. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Endless Legend 2, get it, or wishlist it. It's not out yet. Preview.